Good morning to you all. Today we are replacing QR valves on the trailer. Brand new QR valves that must function, and we're also putting new mud flaps on the tire guards. I don't understand how brand new QR valves can just function, but I think it got dust into the diaphragm and now it doesn't want to function correctly. But here are the new ones, so we'll be putting them on, doing a little bit of maintenance work. Back in a few.
I want you strong, I want you awake, I want you living and not being a half-dead zombie slugging their way through life. Wake up, you have real work to do.
Right, so those are off. Now let's drill holes in these with these templates. Drill holes. These screws are too short for this thickness of the mud flap, so I went and got these ones. They're a little bit longer, so if you put them on, it'll actually just be correct. But yeah, that's basically how it's gonna look. Yeah, and then I have to put new QR valves in this trailer and new QR valves in that axle. So basically what's happening is when a truck pulls air and it gets about 5 bar, you release the handbrake, so you allow the air to go through to the brakes. You release it, so it releases the boosters. Basically what happens if you lock it again, the QR valve starts blowing through the exhaust. Let's see. Okay, so it starts blowing through the exhaust, which is this side. And then if you put your hand on it, it will blow up and make pressure, and it will stop blowing. And it will make a sound. And then it stops blowing, and then 5 minutes later it starts blowing again. So inside is a diaphragm, and that diaphragm, if it gets a little bit of dust, it will actually stuck. So you have to take it apart and clean it out and put it back. But I just decided to get 2 new ones and fix the problem. Because as we stand, there is a new ABS valve in the 6 meter, and there's a new ABS valve in the 12 meter. There's new QR valves in both trailers. And I did not put leveling valves because this trailer is a 2010, so it used to have airbags, but they disconnected the airbags. But yeah, what I don't understand is it's a 2010, but it has an old trailer's suspension. So I think they just took the trailer and rebuilt it with old parts. But yeah, do your maintenance, boys, otherwise you're gonna get stuck. Right, so whilst I'm waiting for the pads to be drilled, I'm gonna get to the QR valves quickly. So on this trailer, I know you need a 24 and a 25, but I'm not sure if I need a 20 as well. The reason why I want to make sure I have all my spanners is I'm going to show you. Yeah, so it's all dust, and I need to get underneath there and underneath there. And to get underneath, you need to crawl in between that little space to get to, let's see, where is that little bastard? To get to that point, here's the valve. There it is. The exhaust is on the top side, so I think maybe that's why it started malfunctioning, because it got dust into the diaphragm. And if you can see, I'm kind of stuck, so that's why I want to make sure I have all of my tools, boys. Who the hell would be putting... Now you see, food in the fifth wheel. So now you get the point why I want to get all my tools. Yeah, let's get to it. Alright, so I have a question for my American friends on TikTok, right? In South Africa, we have a 6-meter trailer and a 12-meter trailer that we combine, 2 axles per trailer, right? Our front weight on the 6-meter, we are allowed to carry, it says GVM on 23 tons, like 23,000 kilograms, and on the Tata, which is basically, 4.36 thousand kg. So I'm not sure on how many lbs there is, but I think on the front trailer we can pull about 46,000 pounds. But basically on the back one it's the same. The GVM would be 29,000 kilograms, which would be double, so about 60,000 lbs. But basically here's how our trailers look. So they measure up to 12 meters and 6 meters, which would be about 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 meters trailer. So that's the 12 meter. So you have double axles at the back, basically on both sides. And then, so that's a 12 meter with container locks. And then you get to the 6 meter with container locks. So basically our normal weight that we pull daily, every load we pull is about 36,000 kilograms, which I think will come to about 80,000 pounds. And I'm pulling that with a 460. I think this N14 is a 460. It's not the 525. I would like to upgrade it to the 525, but as there's a driver on it at the moment, that wouldn't be very smart because it won't last, especially if you're pulling 80,000 pounds on a daily basis. But yeah, let me get to work. Now this is trucking, boys. It ain't very clean. This is basically how our axles look. So get the S-cam, the brake drums, get the axle, then you get the 2 boosters, and the 5th wheel's on the top. So this is the link between the 6 and the 12, and then you get to the valves. So those tie downs are just momentarily because I need to make brackets for the new valves. So that's the ABS valve. We call it a tortoise valve because it basically looks like a tortoise. But now you see why I had to bring all my spanners down. Let me just set up this camera so you can check. So yeah, the valve I need to get to is this valve right here. So basically what I'm gonna have to do is I have to switch it around to make the exhaust at the bottom and switch this air line, which is the supply line, to the top. Because I think that's why I have dust in the diaphragm, because it's showing up to the top. But yeah, let me set up the camera and get to it. Now you see why I had to bring all those spanners. And I didn't bring the correct spanners. It's a 22. Got the 22. There we go. Need a 27. Got the 27. It's Africa, boys. We don't have luxury of no dust. Please don't tell me I have to bloody well take this clamp off. Pete's sakes. That's gonna break, and already fucking broke. So I went down and actually sheared off the bulb. Well, not the bulb, but the bracket. So now I'm just gonna loosen the bracket completely. And it's a 12 mil on both sides. Take it off. Take off the fitting from the pop. And then put it back upside down. And that should solve the problem of the cure valve. But yeah, this is South Africa, boys, not America, so this is a normal thing here. Let's say you ain't no cowboy if you don't work on your own horse and pull cattle. It's some hard ass work, especially if you're trucking. Well, that sheared right off. I think I should have loosened these before I actually did anything, but yeah. Where is the other spanner? I hope this is gonna work. It's already bent. Let's turn this way. Go. I hate these clamps. They cut you up, man, if you're not careful. There we go. One's off. Yeah, let's get the other one off. I hate this idea of these bloody pipes. There we go. A off. Well, look at that. So I sheared right off there when I started pulling on this fitting. I have to get these out and put the new ones. So now I'm gonna put this in the back and turn all these bolts, and they have to go into the new one. Only problem is I've got thread tape, so I have to go in there. Let's go do that quickly.
Al die wel.
Ja, hij collapsed die oude een aan die binnenkant op die trailer.
Oh.
Ja. Man, dat maar uit. Vast. Maar die table wise help baie.
Ah.
Nou kan jy vat. Ek het maar besluit om 'n YouTube video te maak, want ek kry dit nêrens op YouTube nie. So as iemand nou maar weer nou sukkel, dan kan ek hulle daarmee help. Right, so new fittings are in, new valve. Now I have to get underneath there, bend that valve bracket correct, and put the new one on. It's one down, one more to go. Now I forgot my box. Let me try and set up this camera to be decently. You're not gonna be able to see shit. Okay. Let me fit it quickly and be right back. There we go, boys. Feeding valve, like feeding lines in, which is your number one, and then supply line to the brake boosters, and supply line to the brake boosters, and then exhaust the bottom. But like, there is no room, so I'll basically have to make a bracket for the tortoise valve to come to the side, just to get room here. Okay, next one up, one out, one to go. So those two axles are done now. That's finished. Now it's just that one axle, well, two axles, but one QR valve releases to that axle and to that axle. So it's basically like a dual system. That's why you have one supply line, and then you have one feed line to the back boosters and the front boosters. But yeah, tip. So basically, when you release your handbrake, that valve controls the release of the handbrake. It shortens the supply of air. But if your tires are binding, it means one booster is leaking through. Now you can't hear a booster leaking through. So what you can do is test is disconnect the handbrake line and the brake line to the booster, pinch them, and then release again. If they release then that's that booster is leaking through. Then just disconnect. You can drive like that, but you need to replace that booster. If it's not that booster, test all four, or on American trucks test 2 or whatever. But yeah, that's how you test for binding. If it's not that, probably be the S-cam overturned. If it's not that, probably be your torus valve that's not feeding and it collapsed. This side's even worse to work in. Look, I need to get down there, in there. So one thing about our country, or people living in South Africa would know, we're prone for black widows, so there is a few spider webs. I just don't think there is black widows, but hopefully I don't get bit. So 12 meter is done, new QR valve is in. The 12 meter though, the cure valve wasn't showing up. It was pointing down, the exhaust was pointing down, so I can't understand why it would make trouble, but it did. Regardless, this new one's in, 12's done, and 6 is done, so good for now. Now to do the mud flaps and put the new elastics, so I'm done. Being I realized in, I think it's FSC Trucking, his Peterbilt, his toolbox is on the horse. In our country, the thing is you can't put it on the horse because the weight is heavy, so our fifth wheels are in like center of the two axles. If you move it back, it's gonna put too much weight on this axle and it's gonna be overweight. So we can't put our toolboxes here because when we turn with our trailers, it will hook the toolbox. So ours is basically on the trailer itself. So my toolbox is here, ginormous toolbox, but it's fine to put it on a trailer. The toolbox is heavy, but it's not as heavy to put you overweight. Right, mud flaps are on. This is how they look. Looks a lot better. It's gonna get a name, so I'm gonna put International on this, or Eagle Pride, or even the company name, which is Interstellar. Put it here. That's the other side. This is one side. So we're done for the day. Finished. I replaced the QR valves. I put the mud flaps. So both the 12 meter and the 6 meter trailer, the QR valves are replaced. Mud flaps are on. Discs are changed. So now just need to go load. For now, I'm happy with how they look. I'll probably throw on, like I said, a logo on there. But like I said, for now, I'm happy with how it looks. So I'll give you an update on when we load, and I'll probably film that as well. So please subscribe, like the video, comment if needed, and enjoy my journey. It's my YouTube channel and I'm starting out now. I hope you like it. Well, this will probably go on TikTok as well. But yeah, bye for now.
I want you strong, I want you awake, I want you living and not being a half-dead zombie slugging their way through life. Wake up, you have real work to do.